What's going on, YouTube? So right before we get started, I want to remind everyone that this is a continuation from my previous video where I compared the Sigma 24mm, the Sony 35, and also the Sony 50mm lens with the Megadap adapter and the Nikon Z6 II. And we came to a conclusion that if the Sony lens did not perform well on its Sony body, it will also carry on with the Nikon Z6 II and Megadap adapter. If you're slapping on a bad lens on a Nikon body, it's not gonna work, all right? So just keep all that in perspective. Make sure you look at the reviews before you buy these lenses because some of these lenses are not made equal. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about my 100-400 and my 200-600 experience with the Nikon Z6 II and the Megadap adapter. And right before we get into all of that, I want to remind everyone that I did the review of the ETZ adapter, the 200-500 with the Z50. And also with the Z6 II. And in fact, I did all the shooting menus that you could think of on the Nikon Z6 II. I did all those videos out there for you guys a year ago, and we came to a conclusion that the Nikon Z system has the blackouts and has the lag. So when you are slapping this combo with the Sony, with the Megadap, and the Nikon to do wildlife photography, you will also experience the same thing. The blackouts and lag are still going to remain the same. Now, how is my experience with the Nikon Z6 II with the Megadap, with the 200-600 and the 100-400 lenses? It felt very native, like an FTZ adapter with the 200-500. And for those people that saw my Instagram, you guys knew that I had a list of issues with the Megadap adapter, right? And at the end of the day, they updated the firmware and they fixed the issues that I was complaining on my Instagram. And that's actually good news for those folks out there that are planning to buy this adapter, because in the end, you do not want to buy an adapter that doesn't have support over time. This is good for you guys, but as a reviewer, I had things to say, but they took the words out of my mouth because I can't complain about it no more. They fixed it. You know, the XF data was one of them, but and even more, and they fixed all of it. And so with all that in mind, let's take a look at some images. All right, so here's my first scene, and basically I am tracking this biker, and essentially the 100-400 G Master lens was able to keep up, and I didn't have any issues with focusing on this subject. And so with that in mind, if you're shooting any human walking subject, you should be fine. All right, here's a scene with two dogs playing across the river. This is about 250 feet away. I'm at 600mm on the 200-600, and essentially I was able to capture the entire action, as you can see, and I didn't have any problem tracking these two subjects across the river. So yeah. And as for tracking vehicles like a speedboat, I didn't have any issues with tracking this type of subject. Every now and then you might miss a shot or two, but most of the time I had my shots in focus. And as for aviation photography, I am not an expert in this field. However, I did take several photos of few planes in the sky, and I don't want to undersell it or oversell it, but taking photos of planes is very easy with any of this setup right here, with the 100-400 or with the 200-600. I mean, these are like slow moving objects in the sky. I wish I would have like a fighter jet or something, but so far any of these planes that you see on the screen is perfectly fine. I didn't have any issues with it. Here is a picture of a kingfisher, and this is a series of birds on a branch, and essentially if they are not moving, you should be perfectly fine. So for those folks out there that are shooting static bird photography, you should not have any problem with this whole setup. Now here is an example of me dealing with the blackout and lag at times. As you can see, the heron is sliding off the frame. Here is an example of a pigeon. The pigeon, I was actually predicting or over predicting its movement because of the lag. The pigeon actually just flew shortly. I thought it was going to fly even further, and I just, you know, predicted way too far. So there you go. Here is an example of a seagull that's flying towards me, and you can see my misses and my hits, and you could leave down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Did I get all my shots? How many shots did I miss? But I think I missed about maybe 4 or 5 shots maybe in this series right here, but let me know down below what you guys think. And here's my hawk photos right here, and as you can see, I did lose autofocus at the beginning, but I regained the autofocus afterwards. And keep in mind, there's a big sun in my face, so I was like kind of dazed in tracking these birds all day. So yeah, but as you can see, I got a lot of shots in focus. So that was a good experience right there. There were times I did drift off, as you can see, but most of the time I got my shots in focus, and that's just the dynamic area autofocus. All right, keep track of the heron right here. It picked up a fish, and it takes the fish to the water to clean it right before it eats it. And it's crazy when I saw this. I'm like, whoa, what in the world? I did not know that they understand the concept of cleaning your food right before you eat it. So there you go. That was kind of interesting. All right, so here's my last shot, and this is the heron having its lunch, and this is like hour 5 or 6 outdoors. I'm already tired at this point, and essentially, I did miss a few shots. You could blame this portion on me because the heron is not really moving. It's just staying still. I'm the one that's moving. I'm carrying 2 telephoto lenses in my backpack and a tripod, and it's just, yeah, I'm very fatiguing at this point, and it's really hot outdoors. So there you have it, you know. But overall, I was pleased with the results, and yeah, I was not battling with the camera. I was battling with my exhaustion at this point. So yeah, there you go. So just to wrap things up, after testing the Sony 100-400 G Master lens and also the 200-600 Sony lens with the old firmware update and the new firmware update, and also with the 24mm Sigma lens and the 50-35 Sony lens, I would have to say that the ETZ11 adapter by Megadap is quite essential to the current Z mount owners because you get access to the whole variety of Sony lenses. You get the Tamarons, you get the Sigmas, you get access to those lenses than Canon and Lumix and the other brands out there. You get access to all those lenses, and that's just crazy to think about, right? So whenever there's a new release for the Sony, Nikon Z mount owners, actually the Nikon Z mount Megadap owners out there, you guys can definitely consider about getting those lenses as well for your own work, because currently right now we all know that Nikon Z lenses are excellent, but they're very expensive. So with all that said, thank you guys for checking me back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely click like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, take it easy. Peace.
you.